Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. So glad you tuned into the show today. We're going to share with you some information about drones. You've maybe seen a few of them around this summer, and we're going to talk with a local expert, Seth Simonson. He is the owner of Precise Sensing, and they have drone photography and videography and mapping. Those services are available for you. So Seth is going to join us on the show, so stay tuned. Well, we encourage you to check out the Chamber's website at fergusfalls.com. You'll see a list of more than 350 of our Chamber members who are businesses, nonprofits, clubs, churches, you name it. We have every type of organization who are members of the Chamber, and that list is growing. So if you want to find out more about being a member or how to be on our website, give us a call at 736-6951, or again, visit our website at fergusfalls.com. Our website is also a great place to find things to do this summer. Check out the website at fergusfalls.com and /events calendar. So just click on that link that says events calendar and you'll be able to plan a fun-filled summer. Well, stay tuned. Our guest, Seth Simonson, will be joining us shortly. Welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm here with one of our very unique chamber members. Seth Simonson is here with Precise Sensing. I got that right, didn't I?
Yeah.
All right, good. It's a lot of S's. So Seth, the school year is out, and now it's time for what the second level of the career for you to kick in with Precise Sensing. And well, you've brought a friend along.
I did, yep. Yeah, this is one of my tools that I use with my business, my bigger tools for a lot of the work that I do. I've got a few other ones as well. But like you said, I teach during the school year at NDSCS in Wahpeton, and this is kind of my summertime or
Your summer job.
Yeah. So basically I'm a drone service provider for the area, and I cover everything from doing just promotional work, video, photos, to mapping, doing volumes of stockpiles for coal and aggregate and,
wow.
and mapping, and so pretty much most things you do with the drone I cover. So
you know, and you see a lot of folks out with drones, especially this time of year. A lot of them are using them for more, for fun use. But like you said, this is your business, and I think what's interesting is that a drone can allow someone to, well, with you operating it, to see parts of maybe the property that they wouldn't see otherwise. So tell us a little bit about, some of the folks that you're helping. I would imagine agriculture may be a big component this time of year.
yeah, so the biggest thing is you get a different perspective from what you normally would see. So normally when you're looking at things, you're looking from the ground and you miss things, and it's just a lot easier to pick things out when you're up in the air. For instance, I did a drone job for an insurance company and doing roof inspections. They had a roof claim that they needed to get. The roof was too steep for them to climb up on, so
sure.
They sent me up. I took photos for them, and it was a lot safer and a lot quicker than what it would have traditionally taken. But like you said, agriculture. Storm comes through and damages the crops. They can easily fly over and see exactly where it's damaged and inspect that, and just makes it a lot easier to be able to see it from the air.
Definitely, truly that bird's eye view where, maybe even if a farmer has some, not sure how, maybe he tried some new seeds or new spray or something, not sure how it's working, you only see the periphery as you drive around the field. He can hire you and send you out and give him a better picture.
Yep. Yeah, basically, with this coupled with the software that I use, I can fly a piece of land, and just like Google Earth, how you can look at your land and zoom down in and see things pretty clearly.
Yep.
I can create a map similarly, except a lot higher resolution, so you can zoom way in and see clear details. So if you wanted to have a map of your property,
You could do that
You could
too.
easily do that.
Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I would imagine there's probably, like you said, some uses when it comes to real estate.
Yep. So that's the biggest thing that I've seen now in the real estate industry. A lot of people switching to use drone photos, whether it's photos or videos. What the research has found is that when people that are house hunting come across and they see a photo from a drone, it kind of pulls them in because it's not something they have been used to seeing in the past. So it's kind of a, oh, wow, what's going on with this place? I've never seen it from that perspective before, because if I drive by the house, I see it from the curb, but now I can see it from up above and I can see a lot more. And it just engages the audience a little more.
Right.
Than just traditional.
And I think of some areas too, like let's say a guy was looking at buying hunting land. Well, to walk through the woods, or this time of year, it's so overgrown, you really wouldn't know. And with the drone photography, you'd see it. Are there bodies of water? Are there fields, swamps?
And the
what's
nice
the
thing,
cover like?
Exactly. And the nice thing with the software is not only can I get a nice, pretty photo, but it'll also build a 3D surface terrain model accurate within under an inch.
Oh wow!
So you can see which way your land goes just from the model the drone picks up.
Sure. And a lot of folks have drones as maybe a hobby too. Tell us a little bit of the difference between the equipment that you're using and the operations and the credentials that you've got for it.
Exactly. So the drone industry is huge. Both on the hobby side and now on the commercial side. Basically, the equipment could be used, it could cross over, it doesn't matter. For commercial use, you can use a hobbyist drone. For hobbyists can buy the commercial drones, it's just the price is a little different. However, when you want to operate a drone commercially, whereas you're making money with it, then you need to go through a few other different steps. You have to get your license from the FAA. So basically you take a 2-hour test, and if you pass that, and then if you pass all the background checks and all the other stuff that goes with it, then they'll give you a little card that looks like a driver's license, and it basically says that you can operate commercially with a drone. However, you have to follow, whether you're commercial or you're a hobbyist, you still have to follow some of the same rules.
And I think that's one area that people may not know about too, is they might say, oh, we're having a family reunion. Hey, Uncle Bill over there, why don't you get your drone and get it up and take some pictures? Tell us a little bit about some of those kind of things that not everybody maybe knows about.
Yeah. So some of the rules that the FAA has put together, and if you're not aware of FAA, it's Federal Aviation Administration. They govern everything in the skies in the United States, basically. So some of the biggest rules that I see that people aren't aware of, just from YouTube videos that people put out there.
You can tell they maybe broke a rule or two.
You can't fly over 400 feet. Now there are exceptions to that. Yes.
Sure.
High. If you're flying over a building, legally you're allowed to fly 400 feet above the building, but 400 feet's the ceiling.
Sure.
Now that can get smaller when you start getting into areas where you're in controlled airspace where there's an airport, but that brings a whole nother thing that you have to start considering, is you have to get authorization to operate within that airport. 5 miles is the radius.
Yep, and we have one right here in Fergus Falls.
And typically the heights that you can fly within that controlled airspace tiers down, so that you're at 400, then you get down to 3, then 2, and then 1, and then it's no fly, basically, when you get probably within about 2 miles of the airport.
Okay.
You always have to maintain line of sight of the aircraft, so I see videos all the time that people take them out for miles and miles and miles, and you can't see it from that far. So you have to make sure you see it at all times. Another one is, like you said, family reunion, or maybe it's a marathon or some event that you have. You can't fly over people. So any person, that includes people and moving vehicles, so you can't fly over a road that has cars going by.
Can't fly over your neighbor's house if they're outside having a party and you weren't invited.
And then there's privacy rules too. The privacy rules are kind of hazy because people debate on what do you own.
Right.
If they're up above your house, Do you own that space? Do you not own that space? Who's in charge of it? Typically when I tell my students, or when I'm out flying, if I have to fly over any type of neighborhood, I always tell them that's not my property. I'll tell them, make sure you're higher than 100 feet. Because
Right.
at 100 feet, you're really not going to see anything unless you have some massive camera on there.
Right.
So it just keeps that privacy a little more private.
Definitely. Well, that's not the intent behind them.
No.
Them either, is to go see what your neighbors or others are doing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's work. So.
And when you talk about work, so tell us about some of the folks that you can help out, or who can contact you for some drone photography.
Sure, and it can range anywhere from just a private person that wants to take photos of their property, or maybe it's they have a wedding or something that they want, an outdoor wedding they want photos
where
of.
you can be there, but you just can't be right above the people that are there.
You wouldn't want it hovering above your wedding. Yeah. Or it could be, a gravel company or some earthwork construction company. They want me to come and find out volumes of how much they have in their piles in their gravel pit, or
Sure.
Maybe they've got a realtor or something that wants some pictures or videos of their real estate.
Well, and that's one thing too, is that this is not, you don't just take it out of the box, turn it on, and away you go. It takes a fair amount of skill and training to get it set up and to get quality images too.
Yeah, exactly. I think anybody can go buy a drone and take some decent photos and videos, but it takes some skill in the flying if you want to do, more high-end videos. If you want to understand, if you have an understanding of photography, that's great, because you need to set photography, different settings on your camera so that you get the right picture and image. However, on the other side, what I'm doing is with the mapping and the 3D modeling, that stuff takes a little more training, because you have to know the software and have to have a background a little bit in that type of field. So
Definitely. Well, and like we said, with school being out, you're actually an instructor for it too. So let's talk a little bit about that, where maybe there's some folks they've got kids that are interested in things like this, and this is actually can follow a career path.
Absolutely. Well, so I teach at NDSCS. I'm in the land surveying and civil engineering tech department. So I teach basically the civil engineering side of the program, a little bit of the land surveying side of it. I teach all the drone technology. We're actually starting up a unmanned aerial systems program, going to start probably in the spring this coming year.
Fantastic.
So we'll be getting a lot more in depth in the technology. But besides that, I know I'm working with the Fergus Falls Community Ed. We're looking at offering in the fall community class on an intro to drone technology.
Nice.
Just an evening. We haven't set a date yet, but
watch for those flyers and they come
Yep.
out for the class announcement for that. And truly, it's for you. You've got the combination now of your background, because, like I said, you're not just a guy that knows how to run a drone. You've got the land surveying background too. So that plays a big part of the success and the high quality results that you can give people.
And it's nice because I can brush up on my skills during the summer for teaching too, so
Sure.
it helps.
Students get better and better at it every year by
Yeah.
learning from you. So,
Yeah.
well, what else can we tell folks about Precise Sensing? How do they get in touch with you if they want to know more?
Absolutely. Well, I have a web page. It's just precisesensing.com. No hyphens or anything like that.
Nothing fancy.
Nope. It will show a little bit of information about how to contact me, show what kind of services I offer, some examples. I'm also on Facebook, and I have a YouTube channel too. It's a little lacking right now because I'm
You're
still
busy.
getting things up and running, but as soon as everything starts flowing, then there'll be more stuff updated on a regular basis. But phone, email is the best way to get a hold of me.
Well, fantastic. Well, anything else we should add about Precise Sensing? Just check it all out.
Yeah, just check it out.
And make sure if you've got a drone, you're following those rules, because it is important, and if you see one overhead and you don't think it should be, that should be the other thing. If people see a drone above them and they don't think it should be there, or if it's not operating appropriately, get in touch with your local authorities.
Exactly. And
it's not a 911. It's probably not an emergency.
No.
But
and if people have questions just about drones, they can always feel free to call me too and get a hold of me, and I can sure answer those, even if it's not, you don't need to use my services, but if you have a question on it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that you just brought up with making sure you're following the rules. Anything bigger than basically half a pound needs to be also registered with the FAA. So.
And half a pound, that's 8 ounces, so that's hardly anything.
I've got small ones about this big that
you don't have to register those.
But it's a $5 registration fee. All you do is you go to FAA, sign in, register it, and then they'll give you a number just like an aircraft has, and you have to stick it on the side of your drone, so that it actually doesn't even have to be on the side of your drone, but
you need to have it.
You need to have it. It's just for if that drone goes down somewhere in someone's field or yard and they find it, or there's an incident, they have that number so they can figure out who it belongs to. Who the
owner is, definitely. Well, I appreciate you bringing Freddie along to see us today, and we encourage folks to get in touch with you, Seth, at Precise Sensing for whether, like you said, whether they've got questions or whether it's for real estate or agriculture or many other types of businesses where if you wish you had a bird's eye view and don't really have the time to learn how to fly a drone, get in touch with Seth.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. We'll be back after a little break. Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I want to thank Seth Simonson for joining us with Precise Sensing, and I want to thank all the businesses and organizations who are members in support of the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we'll see you again next week.